This is exactly how I would scale any coaching business to over 100K a month using paid ads. Okay, this is the exact framework we have used to generate millions in info sales, and this is for coaches and consultants, industry experts, course creators, agencies selling education, or anyone looking to scale their high ticket program profitably with paid ads. Who am I? My name is Fred, and why should you listen to me? Okay, we have worked with some of the top personal brands and even consulted with some of the top coaches, okay, in the space. We have worked with Zulu Kawanda. This guy is one of the biggest stock traders right now, Dubai-based stock trader. And we have worked with Atif Hussein, and we have also worked with Ingram Fitness, generating him a lot of calls and a lot of leads. And now these are most of our clients as well who don't even have personal brand but are still killing it using paid ads. Okay, this our client made $60,000 in just 1 month while spending only $12,000 on ads. We took our boy Brandon from $6,000 to over 40K a month using this system, and we took our client Nathan to $45,000 a month from just 10K using this system. Now, let me get straight to the breakdown. If you notice, like almost every info business out there has this exact same customer journey. So they have this traffic leads to the application and leads to a sales call, and they ask you to pay for one-on-one mentorship. That is a 5K offer, a 4K offer, 3K, or whatever price point they put it at. Now, this funnel is actually amazing. In fact, we have clients who have literally printed thousands of dollars using this particular funnel. Okay, but the one thing about this funnel is that this works best in organic. Okay, but when it comes to paid ads, this actually flops a little bit. It works for some in B2B, but in B2C, like it doesn't really work. Okay, now that's why we use a different approach. So what are the problems with this funnel? High CPA on cold traffic, low trust, one opportunity to convert. Once you lose the prospect, you have lost them. Most of these leads disappear forever. Okay, and when it comes to sales calls for this funnel as well, it's like always high pressure, and almost everyone and their dad, like everyone knows this type of funnel. Okay, but this system I'm about to show you is like different, and this actually brings on paid ads. So before you run paid ads, make sure you actually learn about this and run it. You would print. So the system goes like this. First off, we create a front-end low ticket offer. Okay, so this would be like a mini offer. We call it an entry point. Okay, whereby this prospect buy this mini offer before they actually advance into the funnel itself. So in this low ticket offer, it can be like a mini course, a cheat sheet, a copy and paste templates, or a PDF. Okay, so it depends on what you have on your high ticket offer that you can actually take out and craft a low ticket offer with it. I actually have a video like where I broke this thing down on how to create the front end low ticket offer. Okay, but this is not what we're going to run through in this video. For now, I just want you to understand the bigger picture. Okay, so let's move to the main thing. Okay, so this is where I want you to chill, like, grab your popcorn and actually watch this part. Okay, so the first step of this funnel, let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so the first step of this funnel is the meta ads. This is the meta ads that you run on Instagram or Facebook. Could also be TikTok ads, S ads, Snapchat, or whichever platform your ICP spends the most time. But I mentioned Meta because we've been running most of our ads on Meta. Okay, but this can work on any other ads platform. So when we run this Meta ads, we use this attention grabbing creatives. So we can run a video, or we can run aesthetics. Then from this Meta ads, we send them to a sales page. Okay, this is the front end offer. Okay, where we have offer for them to download. So this is a do it yourself offer, and from this sales page, they go straight to the checkout, And in this checkout, we also have order bumps. Order bumps is like an additional product that they can add to their cart, something related to the front end product. Okay, so they can add this product to cart, and once payment is successful, they are redirected to the upsell page and the access page. But before I get to this upsell page and the access page, let me walk you through something in this checkout process. So what if they check out and their payment is successful? They are put into the upsell sequence. This is an email sequence that actually upsell them to the high ticket mentorship. And what if they didn't check out? Okay, so we send them into the abandoned cart sequence. So this is a series of emails that have been sent to them to recover the carts. So the first email, we send this 1 to 3 hours. Okay, so this is like a reminder plus recover the sale email. So you can send that email like, hey, you left this behind. Then you just add emails and put the link and ask them to go complete their checkout. Then the second email is 24 hours after they abandon the cart. So this is like the objection crusher. So you can say something like, here's why you should actually complete your purchase. Okay, so you can include testimonial in this second email. Then the third email is done like 72 hours. That is 3 days later. This is like urgency and final push. So you can tell them stuff like, if you want it, now is the time. Okay, so you ask them to go complete their checkout. So let's come to the front end offer here. So what if they land on this front end offer and the checkout itself, and most of them do not actually make a purchase? So when they don't buy, we set up ads retargeting. So we call this ad retargeting, whereby we actually reach out to those who didn't make a purchase. Okay, so we set up ads that actually target them and get them to complete their purchase. So the ICP for this would be those who opted in but didn't complete the order. Then the page visitors, those who showed interest on the Facebook page or the Instagram profile but did not click any of the links. So we retarget those people with this creative, that is a video ads showing student wins, and we use the student wins and testimonials to actually push them to buy the product. Now let's go straight to the upsell sequence. So this upsell sequence, we actually set this up. They're sent into this sequence once they complete their purchase for the low ticket products. So the first email is the welcome email. The second one, you send it 24 hours. It's like the intro and relatability story. So this could be your come up story or something that relates to the ICP to actually make it feel personal and make them see that you are a human. And then the third email, this is sent 48 hours after. It's a case study. You just show them student wins and testimonials of other students. Then the fourth email, 96 hours. This is just called the objection handling emails. Okay, so you actually change their mind. Okay, so you counter all the lies told about this particular program or the industry. Okay, you just shift their belief using this email. Then 5 to 6 days before launch, story and value emails. Then the 7th day is the launch day. Okay, so you just directly pitch them the high ticket offer. And then after 48 hours of doing that, you follow up and put in urgency, let them know that a lot of people are getting in and they should really grab their spot. Like no fake urgency, like make sure your urgency sounds real because you're selling high tickets. Now let's go to the access page. Now this is a place I want you to actually chill and record or take notes, okay, on what's happening on this page. So this access page is a page where the book calls immediately. So this is similar to your normal VSL, but it is different because this, we call it the upsell page. It's not called the strategy call in this page. It can be called acceleration call. It can also be called implementation call. Okay, so you just frame it in a way like this is a call to actually help them implement the other product they got and also find out their problems and get them better results. So that's how we frame this page. Okay, so once they land on this page, the next thing is to watch the VSL here. Once they watch this VSL, you explain everything that's going to happen on the call. You explain you just walk them through everything and just push them, just let them know that this is to help them, okay, get better results and push them to actually book. And once they book the call, you actually send your setter can just send them a message immediately on WhatsApp and actually frame them for the call. Even if they don't book the call, your setter should also message them on WhatsApp to get them to book, because anyone that lands on this page, spends time on this page, fills out the application but doesn't book the call, message them immediately and set them. Even anyone that completes their purchase for this load kit product as well and landed on this page, they said I should pick up their phone number and message them on WhatsApp and get them to book the call. This was how we were able to get a lot of sales calls for our own offer, and also made 60K from this offer while spending only 12K on ads. So from this flow, from here, they actually go on to the Calendly to book a call. Okay, so but before I show you this, let me walk you through this. Okay, so this is the client. This is our client's offer. We made him $60,000 in 1 month. We spent $12,045 on ads, and net profit is about 48K. So this is 4.99x return on ad spend. Okay, and here we also have like the low ticket product is $27, and we also have an order bump that is $23 as well. Okay, so the order bump is always important. Don't create a low ticket product without having an order bump, because most times the order bump they create can be up to 40%, 50%. Like the average for us is always 20% to 30%. Okay, so make sure you have an order bump. Like that's a way to add much revenue to your low ticket product and make more money on the front end. Okay, even before pitching them the high ticket product. So let's go back to this. So here from the access page, they go to the calendar and book a call. And once they book a call on our calendar, so we add them to this pre-call sequence. Okay, so this pre-call sequence, we send them an email immediately. Okay, this is like insights and objection handling videos. Okay, so we just send them these videos through their emails, and just to pre-frame them, okay, for the call. And the second email, we send this one after 10 minutes. So these are student case studies interviews. Okay, so we send them student case studies so they can see that our students are really getting results with this system. So this keeps them very warm for the call, and when they show up for the call, you see they already like you and they are ready to pay, because these leads are very warm. Okay, and these leads have already made payments with you. They have paid for your stuff. They are really going to pay again if you frame the call, if you pre-frame the call, and also come on the sales call and do the sales call thing very well. You will take a lot of cash on the back end. So from the calendar as well, we set up this call reminders like 6 hours before the call, 1 hour before the call, and 10 minutes before the call, to make sure that we have enough people showing up for the sales call. Then after they book the call, it leads to they go to the post booking page. Okay, so this post booking page can, in the VSL funnel, you can just call it the thank you page. Okay, so this post booking page, we have the pre-call guidance. So this pre-call guidance, like we have a success message that tells them their call is confirmed, then a walkthrough video they can watch before the call. So this is like a guide telling them what to expect, how to take the call, and how to come on the call and all of those. Then we have like a calendar shortcut. So calendar shortcuts can be stuff like add to your calendar. Okay, so this can be a link that redirects to their calendar app, and they can add this call to their calendar. And then the device rule You just tell them, please join from a laptop. Then environment rule, join from a quiet room. So this is just similar to what happens in the thank you page of a VSL funnel. Okay. So from this booking page, like I told you, pre-call guidance, and yeah, that's it. So after they book the sales call and we get on the call with them, the next thing is the sales call. And from the sales call, we actually tell them about the high ticket offer and literally collect cash. Okay. So what if they come on this sales call and we actually don't close them? What we do is this: we send the first email, which is case studies and student stories. So because most times if a sales call don't close, most times it comes to boils down to trust. Okay, so if they don't trust you enough, you send them more case studies. And the second one, you can send them like an email about your story and why you created this. And then in the third email, you break down what they are missing. So when you're breaking down what they're missing, you can actually do what we call comparison. Okay, so you just let them know what others who are in the program already are actually benefiting. Okay, so with this, you can actually get a lot of these people to reschedule your call and actually close. Okay, so what if they don't show up for the call? In a scenario where they don't show up for the call, what are we gonna do? So we send them an email the same day and ask them stuff like, did something come up? Then the next day, if they don't reply, we send them another email and be like, last chance to reschedule your call. Okay, and what if you take this sales call and you see that those people don't have the budget to actually get into your 5K program? What are you gonna do? So you actually give them a downsell offer. If they accept the downsell, you sell them like a mid ticket. Okay, the downsell would be a mid ticket. It could be something like monthly community subscription, software, prop firm, broker and vendor links, or you can just sell them one-time consulting. Okay, so for vendor links could be those in reselling and all of those. For prop firm and broker could be those in trading. For e-com, you can sell them software. Also for trading, you can also sell them a trading robot. Okay, you can sell them a community. Anything mid-ticket that you can sell anywhere between $300 to about 1K. Okay, you can just sell them that and keep warming them up for the high ticket. Maybe when they get results with the mid ticket, then they will be pushed to buy the high ticket. Okay. And what if you give them this downsell offer, that is the mid ticket, and they also do not accept it? So if they reject the downsell, we put them in a downsell sequence. Okay, so this downsell sequence has this email, the welcome email. So this one, we send this one immediately. Then the second email is 24 hours. So this would be your intro and story and relatability email. Okay. Then the third email, 48 hours. This would be case studies breakdown. Okay, and social proof. Okay. So but this case studies, this breakdown and social proofs would be about the mid-ticket product, because those people, you discovered already that they don't have budget. So this email would not be the same email that you are sending to those ones who rejected the high ticket offer but has the budget. Sorry. And also, we invite all these people to webinars. Okay, so we invite all of them to webinars, all of them. So we invite them to webinars, those who bought the mid-ticket products, and also those who rejected our downsell. We invite all of them to webinars. Okay, so once we invite them to webinars, we do like long sections. You understand? Long sections whereby you teach your method. You can teach your method. You can break a lot of things down for them in these webinars. Okay, and from my experience, we have seen a lot of people like make decisions and pay on this webinar. But the amazing thing about this funnel is that Everyone that reached this stage, everyone that came to this place, you understand? Everyone that came to this sales call, everyone that came to this page, these are all paying customers. Like they literally paid you money to enter your funnel. You understand? So that's one thing I love about this funnel. And that's why this funnel has been printing for us. Like this makes so much sense, and this actually brings clients and prospects, customers who actually love what we're doing with our offers, and this is literally printing. This is an 8-tier funnel. Like I actually love this for paid ads when selling to B2C. And then if it is successful, you take your $5,000 spiff. Okay? So right now, this is the funnel that we have been running like since 2026, and this is literally printing for us. Okay. So if you have a coaching offer, you have an info offer, or you are a coach with no followers and you really want to scale on paid ads, or you just want to scale on paid ads, we can help you set up this whole system. Okay, help you set up the ads, help you set up everything, the creative. Okay, and launch you. Even we can also run up the low tickets products for you and launch everything for you. Okay, so if you're interested and you want to run this up for your offer, so just apply to work with me below. Okay, so you see a link, just click there and apply to work with me.